Game number 1, semi-final number 1 at the X Cup Summer Qualifier number 2, everybody. We got the Hardos against Team Cow Attack. The Polish team done pretty well in the early rounds here. And I need to ask them at some point, definitely, where the nickname comes from, or the team name, but these guys are obviously pretty good. I mean, if you've been a fan of European esports for a while, then you've seen those names around. And they go up against the Hardos now in the semifinals, so they got a pretty difficult opponent, considering that the Hardos were able to win the last tournament. And they are just accumulating a couple more points for that leaderboard so that they can make it in the playoffs without any big problems here. So we have Tomb of the Spider Queen as our first map in the best of 3 series. Now, as already explained, with the X Cup, the entire system is that throughout the season there's multiple open tournaments where teams can participate in. The farther you go in the tournament, the deeper you go in the rounds, the more points you get for a leaderboard. The accumulated points at the end of the season will then determine which TA teams make it to the playoffs. So the top 8 will move to the playoffs and then play for the prize money as a total prize pool of 4,000 euros for the first season. And it's going to be pretty awesome. So right now the teams are currently starting to participate in all of those qualifiers. A few have changed team members, a few will still form. And the same thing is happening here. Already talked about the Hardos, for example, so Chris is not really playing with them anymore. Copenhagen took over Chris's position in the team. Bad Benny is still with the team, but the last 2 qualifiers, this one included, he couldn't make. So Galne Gulnar is subbing in for Bad Benny, but technically he is still with the team. That's at least the latest information that I have. But we've obviously seen other teams also kind of disband on the European side or reform or kick a player or 2. So slowly but steadily we will see more of the top names also participate in the qualification events. And we have a couple of players that are starting to make their way back that haven't even participated in the Masters Clash qualifiers, for example, and now playing here, which is kind of cool. Now, here on 2, the first thing that happens is we have Junkrat and Vala both banned out. And Zagara as a first pick again. Yeah, there's a bit of a theme here today, isn't there? We've already seen that in the earlier rounds, but here is another time Zagara as an early pick. No Carrigan and no Medivh for the blue team for the Hardos. Now, both of these are obviously also kind of nice against Zagara because you can try and get the drop on her. What's really great about Zagara is that if she is completely unmolested, she can do a whole lot of work. The biggest problem that she had the entire time is that normally that doesn't happen. You have a lot of heroes jumping on her, she doesn't really have a whole lot of hit points, she doesn't have a lot of escape tools, and then she just dies. But now she has an extended range on the auto attacks, even when she's off creep, which means that you can keep her a little bit farther in the back, and she also gets the movement speed increase when she's on creep, so if you manage to get a good creep spread going, you can easily move out too. So there's that. We got the Leo pick and Garrosh for the team, so they're going to try and keep her safe. The combo with Garrosh we've now seen a couple of times with Zagara, because even if she gets jumped on, if Garrosh is around, he can usually save her by simply throwing her out. Maw is of course also kind of crucial as a last I mean, first of all, as an attack pattern too, but if you're getting attacked, you can also try to save yourself by using the Maw here. How much she's going to have an impact on the meta, that's something that we're going to find out as things continue. But for now, she's definitely something that teams experiment with, because this is obviously the first day where the new patch is being played on as a tournament. Tracer also banned for that reason, but there's plenty of real mobile and agile heroes that you could still play in order to put pressure on Zagara. I mean, one of them would be Genji, but of course there's plenty around, so we're going to keep our eye out for what's happening here on the side of the Hardos. They opened up with Blaze and with Malfurion. Galne Gulnar has been picking Malfurion also in the first qualifier for the Hardos every single time that he could. Here comes Jojo, and we got the birdie. Okay, so maybe even a play around a good gust against Zagara could put her in trouble. Nick with Jojo, still playing with these swapped roles too. Nick in particular has always been a little bit of an enigma. I mean, that guy, even in HTC times, always did one role swap after another, and he excelled pretty much in every single role he played, which was very, very impressive. But now we have Ana out and Sylvanas to round things out for Team Cow Attack. Okay, so let's see what we're going to get from Yasu here as the last pick for our boys and girls. And he played a lot of Maiev, just a lot of aggressive heroes just in general, and he did incredibly well on the last qualifier for the Hardos. Had a couple of games where at least initially he got farmed, and then he just completely turned off the heat in the later stages of the game and murdered them. And this time we're getting Chromie! And that might be swapped over to Hazo, we'll see. But yeah, Chromie is in to the Spider Queen. Game number 1 in our best of 3 series, the first semi-final of the second qualifier for the X Cup Summer. Let's go, everybody. Hardos against Cow-Attack, everybody! Game number 1 in the best of 3 series, and Hazu with a Gathering Storm on the level 1 for his Falstad. So we're gonna go for the stacks this time. Mage build with Khaldor, Malfurion, Nick and Johanna. Yasu's playing Chromie, and we got Copenhagen on Blaze. On the right side of the map, Richu on Leoric, we got Arion on Sylvanas. Rutek is playing Anna, Mimikyu on Garrosh, and Cesabos on Zagara. Yep. This is gonna be interesting. Zagara, all of a sudden, is everybody's darling, at least for today. We'll see how that changes, but she is able to get a whole lot of damage out. So let's have a little bit of a look of what they can do with her here. And if the Hardos are able to murder her, because a couple of decent stuns with either Jojo or Blaze being involved, maybe a root from Malfurion, and then Chromie can just shoot her off the map, and that's probably what she's gonna try and do. But for now, Zagara is all the way up at the top, is starting to spread creep. We're gonna see Leo, of course, move down to the bottom of the map. He's already ghosting away here. The janitor is in the house trying to take out the trash. Creep 2 must have to be taken care of eventually, since the vision advantage and the speed advantage, of course, for Cesabos is pretty significant at this point, if he is allowed to stay on creep the entire time. Blaze is already moving away at the bottom of the map because Garrosh was trying to help Rich out, but that's a good connect on the drain. And that's a very nice start for Leo on the lane as well. With level 1, we got the Neural Stim Pack as the first talent for Blaze, so he's not going into the new habits, he's not really too afraid. Not going for his unstoppable frames here. Yeah, level 4 talent, and then Spines most likely for Cesabos. The Moonfire, he's not quite hitting it. There it is, there we go. Khaldor hits the Moonfire. Where is the middle of that circle? That's always the big question when you're going up against the Zagara's spread. But yeah, he was able to hit home. Yeah, but the damage is already there. And Falstad gets some stacks together, but it doesn't change the fact that this wall is slowly being taken down. So Cesabos with an easy tap on the fountain can still play around the top a little bit, and the birdie needs to be very careful here. Teams are making plays for the camps, and in this case it's the Hardos that are attacking the Siege Giant camp. Now Richard's gonna sniff that out, but as you can see, they can't do anything about it. He's not even trying. He just double checks it for the team, and that allows them to push the top side. So that's actually really nice. They see the camp, and the immediate consequence is that Leo just tells the rest of the team, they're down here, go boys, and do some work. And they take this entire top side down and deliver even more of a blow to tower number 2 and the gate itself. So nice. Well done. And they can now try to set Sylvanas up in the mid lane maybe a little bit just to help that camp out. But Nick is moving in from the side. So structurally speaking, I really like what Team Cow-Attack is doing here. They're doing as much small damage as they can. Leo already down here at the bottom. But this is obviously still one of the best maps of the Hardos. Let's not forget about that. They are incredibly strong here. They've won the last qualifier. So now there's a chance for them to prove their strength once more against Team Cow-Attack, and we'll see if they can pull that off or not. But at least right now, they're losing ground. Zagara is difficult to stop at the top lane, as you can see. There's a lot of damage dealt by those Banelings, and yeah, that means the wall is gone. And the next thing that's on the menu for Cesabos topside is that fountain. And once that fountain is gone, it's going to be really tough for them to hold on to that lane. Already they're looking for Hazorbs here, who has taken some damage, as you can see. Turn in, 26 gems have been delivered by Team Cow-Attack. And the Polish team is doing fairly well. Now there's finally a camp for the Hardos too, and it's gonna push through the mid lane, so they can try and take some of the towers down here. But Zagara is already present, together with Sylvanas, and the two of them should have very little trouble of taking all of this down. Good flip against Jojo, maybe not good enough, but did some work, and there it is, the collapse onto Zagara, and that is 10 gems down the drain. And illustrates once more what I highlighted in the draft, that if you have Zagara on your side, you need to keep everybody away from her. Her hit point pool is absolutely laughable if she gets directly attacked, and that is just the inevitable result. You're gonna lose her right away. So Zagara, they find an angle, they stun her once, twice, and she is dead a second later. Now we got the Boomerang on level 7 for Falstad. If you go for that mage build, of course, you want to switch away from Secret Weapon. That's exactly what we're seeing here. But this is definitely interesting. So Cesabos might have goofed a little bit. Needs to be careful that he positions better, but he did a fantastic job so far at the top of the map. And you can see it right here. There's just nothing left. And they can always try to use her to also interrupt turn-ins, of course. And that's another really nice thing that they have going for themselves. They have Sylvanas. They have a lot of heroes that can go for a real nice turn interrupts. Chromie, of course, can do the same thing on the other side. And so can the shield glare of Jojo. So it's not like only one team is running interrupts. But we still have a couple of real nice ones. And of course now, the ult for Chromie is ready. Which also is going to be interesting with the plays against Zagara. Richu! Yep, trade value activated on Leoric. They're trying to get the counter kill against Falstad, and Hazu! Sneaky bastard! Look at that, he's going full cake beanie on them, moves in and drops the barrel roll just as the perfect moment in time. Blue Web Weavers, they come down too. As a result, Hazu nearly flying into his death, by the way, as he's attacking. But Cesabos might have overstayed a little bit. He gets slowed, has the movement speed advantage, and thanks to the creep that he spread here, he is finally able to get away. So good on him. Doesn't die. The Web Weavers come down. We got the Hardos in a position where they have the power to push through. They're slightly ahead in experience as well. Their top fountain has been lost. That's definitely a bit of a setback. But let's see what exactly let's see what that Web Weaver can do against Zagara. Already Cesabos trying to get the better angle on all of this, and he is burning that down quickly. The attack in the middle of the map, that's a different story. That's where the blue team is really setting camp. But there's also Sylvanas right now, so the blue Web Weavers, they are doing a little bit of work here, and the middle fort is definitely threatened, but the top Web Weaver has already been destroyed. The one at the bottom is not going to do a whole lot either, since Leo is on the case, but in the middle at least they're going to get value. And the problem is the level 10. So, yeah, there we have it. 2 kills against 0. Falling sword. Yep, Zach is going to be in trouble because of that. But can they play around this a little bit? Her damage output should be really good right now. She's at 8,000. Now Chromie is ahead. Chromie, Blaze and Falstad, all three of them, have more damage than her. But it's not too shabby. And if you look at the siege damage, that's of course where Zagara currently reigns supreme. Level 10 abilities in for both of the teams right now. Falstad also with more stacks, 32 at this point. Yeah. Range increase, that of course is already kind of nice. And let's go. That's a kill. That is... Oh, it's barely not. Barely not a kill, but they steal the camp away. Okay, things are starting to get a little bit out of hand. Oh my god! The flattening of Anna. Poor Granny. She gets murdered. That falling sword wasn't even needed, but she dies anyways. And things are starting to spiral out of control a little bit for Team Cow Attack. They still have gems, but it's a little bit worrisome that they have a lot less gems than the blue team, and the blue team already turned in once. So now Zagara gets attacked and she makes it out. But that's a potential second turn-in for the Hardos, which could be snowballed to level 13. Things are really not all that easy for Cow Attack. They had a great start, but now they're suffering a little bit. 37 gems just got delivered by the Hardos as they're aiming for turn-in number 2, but the red team is fighting back now that Anna has reappeared on the map. And they're trying to set something up here. Cesabos is trying to finish the job on turn-in number 1, but can't really. Here comes the damage against Nick. He's already dropping low quickly, activates his Laws of Hope, but needs a bit more support, and Galnigulnar is here to grant him exactly that. Sylvanas, yep, that's not the interrupt that they were looking for, I'm sorry, but that oil spill was a little bit too short. Yeah, can't even do that right. Can't even pollute the environment properly. Blaze, seriously. 42 stacks per now for Hazu, 21 on the side of Jojo on the level 1. And level 13 talents will be ready for the Hardos as they defend against those Web Weavers. So a talent advantage for them. And Leo is activating his trait at the bottom of the map already. They're trying to go for some counter damage here in the middle, but Nick is moving out of harm's way without a big problem. And now we're in a situation where the red team, they have their Web Weavers, but they're also down a talent and they're 4v5. Now Leo is going to be back soon, he's going to push through the middle, but the top Web Weaver is already defeated. In the middle of the map, it doesn't look much better, since Hardos is taking care of all of this. And at the bottom of the map, Blaze is all alone to deal with Web Weaver number 3. So that first objective didn't really do anything for Team Cow Attack. Yeah, there's an attempt to finally take Nick down, but even that doesn't work properly. So They bought themselves a little bit of time, but they're still behind a talent and experience. Yeah, this is not looking good for the red team. They need kills. They haven't gotten a single kill in this game yet. If they really want to make a difference here, they have to come into these team fights and drop a couple of heroes and so forth. That's just not happening. Instead, Copenhagen gets another turn in. They're trying to make the play for... oh boy. For Garrosh, and they nearly get him. 52 stacks now for Falstad. Yeah, Falstad is stacking this one pretty hard. The damage increase is starting to get... like, I mean, again, it's going to become more and more of a problem here. And Zagara is already dead. She got caught once again. Falstad takes her down. Damage output 23,000. He's top damage in the game now with this build. And it's a concern. 5 kills to 0, 2 level ahead, and the web weaver wave is coming in. You can see where this is headed. Ford at the bottom of the map is definitely going to fall. The one at the top should not survive either, now that they're pushing in for this. So, yeah, that is problematic. Especially since they're even pushing the middle, so they're keeping Counter-Attack busy on the defense in the mid lane, whereas all the auxiliary lanes are just suffering. And they are not the only thing that's suffering here, so is Garrosh. Mimikyu is sitting at the front and the entire time he's just the punching ball of the team in blue. Hate after hate is connecting with him. He hasn't died yet in this game, but if the pace continues, it's only going to be a matter of time. So all of the forts have now been destroyed. We're talking about a level 16 talent advantage to boot now. Falstad is going into Airy Gust plus Flow Rider, so full on cooldown reduction for him. They're able to get their kill against Jojo though. Nick is finally down, but Sylvanas with 43 gems makes it out. Looked for a second as if she would go down too, but nope. Anna with a little bit more pew pew, missed one. But here we have it. More is in, maybe now, is that the turn in? Nice! And the birdie flies out after killing Sylvanas. Sylvanas is dead after all. They are trying to drop Copenhagen, and they do. Nice. So at least they're able to do that. They get a few kills under their belt. That helps to close the gap in experience at least a little bit, but it's not enough to get level 16 talents yet. Zagara also with slight adjustments here on the level 13. The protective coating is in. So even more armor at this point. Which kind of means that she needs to also spread that creep a little bit more diligently. Because the last couple of minutes weren't really all great for Team Counter-Attack. She couldn't do a whole lot here. Talking about not being able to do a whole lot. Is that a kill? Yes, it is. Yeah, that combo with Chromie's ult and the falling sword of Nick is also nasty. I mean, have fun escaping that. The Ritual is now getting followed as he's attempting to ghost out of the fight. And it's not looking good for him either, especially after he get absolutely rooted into the ground as Gal Gulnar uses Malfurion to drop the lawn. And that is it. Okay. The Web Beaver. That Web Beaver didn't stand a chance. I mean, holy shit. And talking about not standing a chance, look at the damage output here. The continuous poke from Chromie. And Hardos has just so much space now to get even more stacks together. He's sitting at 75. His damage output is 30,000. Still top damage in the game. More than Zagara with the 27 that she's running. And more than Chromie who's at 29 right now. So, yeah. It's getting a bit nasty here. The good news for Team Counter-Attack was for a long time that they were holding on to a fair amount of gems, but that ship has sailed too. They lost way too many gems now. They suffered 8 deaths, and we still have another turn-in opportunity for the Hardos, so things are going from bad to worse for them. There's also a boss on the map that nobody has really cared about in the last couple of minutes, so there's that. But let's see what else they can do now. Counter-Attack! I don't know. Hardos, they're having a lot of fun here. It's one of their best maps, I said it before. They have a lot of control now. There's an attempt to push this back. Counter-Attack, now the Devil is level 16 talent. Here they go. Nabir Dalai. They try to go in for the kills. Can they get them? And the answer is... no. Instead, oh, nice more. Rutek, he gets his ass moonfired. The birdie with a gust and the kill. That's it. 3 down, everybody. 3 kills. They try to go for Leo and they drop him too. That's a keep at least. They come in for the keep, and they might not stop there. If they have a chance to end the game right now, they're definitely going to go for it. What a play again by the Hardos. Absolute dominance on map number 1 against a strong team. Cow Attack definitely not a pushover team at all. The Polish team is always solid, but against the Hardos, they're just not strong enough right here. The core gets attacked. Very well played by the Hardos. They are locking in the lead in the best of 3 series. They're going to take game number 1. Or are they? Well, maybe they're going to take game number 1, but they're not going to take it now. 40% are still left. And, well, Blaze is down. They're still trying to fight back here. And they're actually holding on to this. But they lost Blaze, and that's a problem. They might lose a little bit more. At this point, Garrosh is trying to save it. There's the Gust. Hazu wants more kills. And does he get it? Nearly. Yeah, but kudos to Cow Attack for defending this for now. I did not think they would be able to pull this one off. So Jojo is dead now too. The core is still a big problem. Level 20 talents are by now also ready. Level 13 to level 4. Falling Sword got upgraded. So they have to fall back for now. The situation is still dire, especially since the Hardos have held on to their gems. So they got 72 gems that they can turn in. It's an easy turn in for them. I think you have to go boss at this point. I mean, it is... What else are you going to do? They're moving in for boss. So they're trying to go in for the boss and take it. It's honestly the only play that they have here. Yep. Blue team knows what's happening. And they're turning in. They're trading the turn in pretty much for the boss. That's more or less what's happening here right now. Blue Web Weavers are coming down. Obviously they know that the boss is up. But the red team will now have to fall back down to the bot lane in order to defend against this push. So they won't be able to do a whole lot with the boss here. And that's just simply the Hardos buying themselves a little bit more time for Jojo to come back, for everything just to settle again, and then to just play this properly once more. So bot lane defense, pretty easy now given the situation. Web Weavers are still coming down. We have Jojo back up on the map, and they can now attempt to maybe push through the top. Web Weavers are just buying them a little bit of time. That's all that they really have to do. But it's a nice move with the defense on the side of Team Cow Attack. They were able to save their core, so that's already a step into the right direction. If they can close the gap in experience and lock in level 20 talents, they can fight on even footing and then maybe, you know, maybe win another fight. Take it from there. So they're not out of it yet. They're obviously under a lot of pressure, but the game is not over yet. Yeah, a little bit of cooldown reduction here for Jojo after all. Nice save, but can they really make sure that Garrosh doesn't die? It seems like it, but the Gust has now been utilized too. And it's just, oh my god. Sylvanas. Once again, the hyper aggression over here. Get some solid damage out, but it's just not enough. Leo is already ghosting out. Without Garrosh, they have a huge problem. The top key, by the way, is about to fall against the Web Weaver attack, and that's not the only thing. Hazu with the murder damage here on Falstad. The double, the triple kill of the birdie. And that's going to be the end of the game. Nicely done by Hardos. He doesn't end it as the top damage on his team, but he did a fantastic job here with Falstad, and that is the lead in the best of 3 series for the blue team. Before we head into game number 2, make sure that you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it yet so you don't miss out on any future content here on Khaldor TV. Game number 2, Towers of Doom. So we had our opening match on Tomb of the Spider Queen, and the Hardos, as usual, delivered there. Very impressive performance, and Falstad also murderous damage with Mage build. Obviously, Falstad got also slightly adjusted during the patch. Now, keep in mind, I don't think I highlighted it before the first game, but there's a couple of talents that have also been banned. There's multiple bugs that were introduced, as with pretty much every patch that Blizzard throws out these days. Some of them so obvious that you honestly have to ask yourself, how does that ever go through testing? Because one of the things that immediately stands out is that the E ability, the new level 7 talent on Jaina's side, was supposed to only reduce cooldowns against heroes, and you can literally hit a wall with that thing and it reduces the cooldown too. One of the reasons why that talent is currently banned. There's a bug with Stukov that you can abuse that is also banned. The hero itself is still playable. But yeah, all of these things are of course listed on the Discord server. The teams usually check that before the games here. But there's no heroes banned at this point. It's a couple of talents banned, but no heroes. But this is all happening on the new patch, which is also why you're seeing a lot of the teams still experiment with some of the stuff. Zagara in particular comes really to mind here. So we got the ban on the Vikings. pretty much the Polish players are deciding it's not the only map. Like Khaldor is not the only map where the Vikings are good for the Hardos, so let's ban them here too. Medivh gets banned. I'm a little bit sad that Stitches is also getting eliminated. And yeah, with that we also have the Junkrat ban. So no pushing around here the entire time. But okay, what do we open up with? Are we going to see Zagara again? That's, for example, one of the first questions that I have here. This is a map where technically with her you could do a whole lot. But let's have a bit of a look of what kind of style we're seeing. Because if you're already going into like a ban on Medivh, if you're banning out Junkrat, Stitches, Vala coming in as a first, you could see different approaches here. Either full-on focus on the team fight, a little bit more map control. The globals have been quite strong, so Dehaka got buffed a little bit. Falset is still quite powerful. If you want to control the macro game, you can definitely try to do that here. Vikings or no Vikings. Stukov is already in as a first pick. This time no Malfurion for them. And we got Tychus. Yeah, Tychus again. High priority. A lot of cases. So, there we go. And yeah, the double pick for the red team. There's Dehaka and Varian. Okay, again, Dehaka got buffed a little bit. So Dehaka even stronger now, and we have him for the global control, for the top lane in particular. Varian, of course, you want to follow up. Denies it a bit to the other team as well, I suppose. So in this case, the Hardos can't take Varian if they wanted to. Technically, of course, you can always ban him out. We have Malfurion banned, which makes a whole lot of sense. Stukov is already taken by them. And if you want to deny another hero to the red team that could follow up on Varian's taunt, Malfurion is a really good choice. Brightwing oftentimes play together with that because you can use the polymorph. Might actually be an option for cow attack. Would give them also a double global. Zeratul gets banned too, so Vala is a little bit safer on that end at least. And what else are we getting here? With the double pick for the blue team now. What are we having here? If you have Stukov, Muradin maybe, if you have Stukov, you definitely want to also land a stun and start things up with. And Muradin has been real popular lately. It would also be kind of nice here, but they go for Garrosh, okay, also fine. We got Blaze for an additional stun, he's going to control the side lane against Dehaka. And Nick has a mean Garrosh. Nick has an incredibly annoying Garrosh. I mean, boy did he do work in the last tournament, the last qualifier, the first qualifier, that the Hardos were able to win with Garrosh. I mean, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. So, we'll see what he can do this time, if he can follow up on that performance. But I don't doubt it. Because again, Nick is... whichever role you put him in, he's fantastic. Kharazim and Phoenix! Are we going brrr? Are we going brrr? Are we going Variant Taunt into brrr? Or what is gonna happen here? Would be kind of funny. I mean, again, we had some combos in other tournaments where you had Murky plus Phoenix Octograb into the Planet Cracker. It was kind of funny and guaranteed you a kill pretty much every time you had the cooldown ready. Yasuo with Kel'Thas. We're going Fire Mage on this one. Mene, is it you? Awesome. Towers of Doom, everybody. Game number 2 in the best of 3 series. Our first semi-final in X Cup qualifier number 2. Let's head straight into Towers of Doom. Hardos against Cow Attack. Party starts on Towers of Doom, map number 2 in this best of 3 series. On the left side, we got Hazu on Tychus. We got Galne Gulnar on Stukov. Copenhagen is playing Blaze. We got Nick on Garrosh and Yasuo on Kel'Thas. Right side of the map, Team Cow Attack with Mimikyu on Varian, Rutek on Kharazim, Arion on Vala, Ruchu on Dehaka, and Cesabos on Phoenix. Vala with the multi-shot build. Nothing insane here on the level 1 talents, obviously for Kel'Thas, the Mana Addict, trying to play this a bit safe, getting as many of those globes as you possibly can to get that shield up and going. Kind of has to stay safe as he can. And we'll see if he can add that additional CC to the mix, because that's one of the cool things about Kel'Thas, that you have an additional gravity lapse that you can drop on the opponent. And yeah, gonna have a bit of a look. Down here, bottom of the map, already a little bit of an attack happening on the 4-man. Well, actually not really the 4-man, at this point it's just like 3 heroes sliding around. It's a top lane where they are attacking a bit more aggressively, and Richu might even be in trouble on this one. We got Cesabos coming in too, and that saves the day for the little dinosaur here. So, nice attack again. already at the beginning of the game by the blue team. They're starting off strong. They're at least dropping the Haka low. Makes it a little bit harder for him to sustain himself all the way up at the top. And in the meantime, we still have our little skirmish here at the bot lane too. But they're putting a lot of pressure on the Haka. It's a lot of pressure on Sesebos, on Richu. Sesebos is coming in to help out. And to be fair to Phoenix, he's doing a good amount of work against Blaze. So now it's all about the camps here. I like it. Say both sides are really aggressive, right? So we're seeing a lot of back and forth between the two of them. Maybe the Hardos more so in the driver's seat as they are the ones looking for kills and also attempting to go for the camp steal here. But I kind of like that we have these aggressive plays at the start. Gotta be a bit careful because of all of the stacks that are coming together here on both sides. And yeah, that's that. Hardos obviously would love to go to another grand final here. It's all about gathering points for the leaderboard. That's what this is all about. And at this point, the Hardos are already in the #1 position. I mean, again, it's very early, it's only after the first qualifier, but they of course want to solidify that spot a little bit and make sure that they are one of the first teams that is able to qualify for the playoffs. There's 4,000 euros of prize money on the line, and that's quite a lot of pizza money. So yeah, want to go for that. There's the taunt against Khaldor, but they're still alive and kicking here. Another flip forward, and Stukov is starting to go for the big hits. Yep, the slap in the face, and that's carries him down. Another flip and another kill. Nick is beasting it once again. Nick is a fucking monster on this hero. I've been talking about this last qualifier. I've mentioned it in the draft, and now we have it right here in front of our eyes again. The guy is just a beast. I mean, he just prepped 2 kills for the team like it's absolutely nothing. And is murdering them, absolutely murdering them. It leads to the wall being destroyed very early on in the game, before the first objective is even spawning on the map. We have a triple altar phase coming up, and then we already are looking at a 1-level lead for the Hardos. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's an easy channel down here, or at least it should be. Yeah, they missed Mimikyu sneaking in, so that's an interrupt. But then again, he might be in trouble now too. Oh, beautiful taunt. Nice. There's the kill, but the counter is there. And Hardos, he's dead too. With the Haka moving down to the bottom of the map, all of a sudden, the tables turn. Well done. I like it. Team counter attack, everybody. Able to get 2 out of the 3 as they connect the shots here. So they are not simply rolling over and yielding this game in series. No, they are fighting their way through it. And they're getting the first 2 kills. There's still a bit of a leading experience that results in a level advantage and a talent advantage for the Hardos, but that gap has significantly closed now that the 2 kills came in for Team Cow Attack. So good stuff. Good job. Level 7 is in. We get them hot pursuit. And still our little skirmish down here because Mimikyu might be in trouble. Quest is already completed, by the way. I mean, we're 3 minutes and 58 seconds in as Garrosh completes his level 1 quest. Not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, and Varian is still shocking around here. Yeah, trying to see if he can maybe get another drop on, for example, Khaldor. Because as long as Khaldor doesn't have his level 1 completed either, there's no opportunity for him at any point to get a shield in and survive. Talking about surviving, seems like Sesebos. Oh my god. Are you kidding me? He survives with no HP and then they get the kill not only against Tigers but maybe also against Nick now? What? Oh! No! That backfired! Wow. I like this already. This is a great game. They are going full aggression on this one. That's a kill trade 1v1, but boy, this is some beautiful plays here. Nick is alive again. Yeah. Nick makes it out. On the one hand, I'm like, why am I surprised? On the other hand, I'm looking at this and I'm like, again? These are some crazy plays and turnaround. Let's be honest about this. That's some really, really sexy play that we're seeing from both sides here. But the Hardos are still sneaking slightly more experience in and will have an early level 10, and that's a big threat to Team Cow Attack. It's a huge threat. Now, that's the reason why Team Cow Attack tries to get the objective as quickly as they can, because if they waste a little bit more time, then they have to go up against heroic abilities, and they don't want to do that. So the blue team takes over, no problems, and that's another 4 shots fired. So they are equalizing the points on the core. Decimate is in. Phoenix is taken. 32 against 32. And thanks to the level 10, they can claim the camp. Camp is locked in, and we might have a problem here for our boy Varian. Yeah, they got level 10 abilities now, but look at Nick. Nick is body blocking, and they get the kill. Came in with a Decimator too, and they might just be able to take that bell tower down here, because Hazo is already dropping Odin, and they're getting a couple of pumpkins in as well. So that doesn't really look too good for the control over the bot lane for the red team. Yeah, they're losing a bit too much ground here, and too quickly too. 5 kills to 3. It's kind of nasty if you think about it. I mean, the kill count isn't really all that different, but what they're making out of these moves is just nuts. So they already take bot lane control and put the pressure really on the Polish team. And at the same time, we have them now with more experience and also pretty decent stacks here, because we're looking at the Hardos with Khaldor as he's about to complete his quest. Now, then again, Vala is also sitting at 31 stacks. That's not bad, considering we're only 7 minutes into the game. The taunt, the 7-sided, and he makes it out. Nick, can you die just once, please? Just once, so we know that you're human? I mean, honestly, call Elon, because I think the robots are already amongst us. The Nick with the precision and the efficiency of, well, a German. So, yeah, making ANG proud. There it is, there it is. Nick finally dies. He's human after all. Or at least he wants us to believe that he is. I mean, that's that's at least 1 kill against him. But now the... yeah, nice attempt, Kopenhagen. Tries to go for the steal at the top. Misses out on it. They're still gonna try to take the left side. And here comes Richo. Me likey. Gotta bunker up on this one. They're still holding on for it. The first Alta is already 2. They're getting... no way. 4 versus 5, and they get the kill, and they might get the double here. Because Rutek is in trouble too. Is there a grenade? He's dead as well. A 4 versus 5, and they win it. I mean, guys, come on. Give them a break. 5 shots are getting fired. 26 against 29. And they can also go for the camp once that it pops up again. Oh boy, oh boy. 7 kills to 4. They go for Vala. But they can't quite get the kill just yet. Damage output, what are we looking at? 21,000 for boy Tychus, 23,000 for Vala. And Garrosh has 18,000. Garrosh has more damage than Khaldor and Phoenix. Oh god. Nick on the money pick. The oink oink to victory here. So, Kopenhagen in the middle. Richo has made some great moves, by the way, with the Dehaka, and some really nice bursts to cut the path of retreat off. They need more of those plays to come back, though. They are now behind by 1 level. And here come a few more shots through the pumpkins. 23 to 29. So, solid advantage now for the Hardos. They, of course, want to reach the grand final as quickly as possible, so taking the opponent down with a quick 2-0 would go a long way to do that. 43 stacks for Tychus. And here's the invade. Hazu might have to retreat here, yeah, and he does that immediately. They're willing to give this up, if need be. Alright, here comes the... I love these setups. Gravity Labs, one of the best things about Khaldor is if you have a great Khaldor player that can use his Gravity Labs, and that one is just perfect. Kopenhagen bunkering up, good for him. Saves himself here. They're trying to go for Rutek. A little bit more damage spread from the living bombs too, as they're switching the attention to Cecibos on Phoenix, who barely escapes. The kill against Blaze works out eventually for Team Cow Attack, and that gives them control over the altar now. Well done. Yeah, good job. That was actually kind of nice. Okay, let's see what we're gonna get. Are they gonna get the channel, or are they winning another 4 versus 5? It seems this time they're gonna lose it. Nick alive, there's the drag against Hazu! Oh, and he gets saved by Nick. Nick is insane! And he dies. Still insane. But they also lose Stukov. And this time, Rutek survives, Mimikyu survives, and they're turning on Hazu. Yes, they lose Karazim in the process, but they got the damage in, and now Yasuo is also going to get dropped. No, he isn't! He isn't, because he had the shield up just at the right moment, but still needed to retreat, yeah. That is exactly the kind of comeback that the Polish team has to pull off if they want to make sure that game number 3 is not just a dream for them. Awesome. So now we got 16 on the board for Cow Attack, a little bit sooner even than for the Hardos. They're able to steal ahead in experience. Level 16 talents gives us Manticore and the Cleansing Touch. But big shout out here to Team Cow Attack. They are going full mad cow on this one. Moo! Great place, love it. The Hardos all of a sudden in a bit of an awkward spot. Dominating the early game. Getting heavily ahead. And now they find themselves more or less tied with the opponent's team. As both of them go for their pumpkins again. And Hazu and his boys are getting their level 16. And there it is. The Ignite is ready. Nick gets healed. Goes for the flip. They're trying to get the kill. Strafe in the back by Vala is being used as well. They're still trying to escape here. And Hazu is starting to attack with Odin time and time again. Trying to take them down here. Sniffs out the Haka too. Just as Blaze is starting to move in. And we're looking at the triple altar phase. Alright. Triple altar phase coming up next. 60 stacks on Vala. 63 on In the Rhythm for Tychus. 31,000 damage for the Renegade. And Vala on 43,000. The Haka sneaking topside to go for the channel. Blaze is doing the same. Down here the 4 versus 4. And there it is. The kill against Varian. But Nick dies as well. Yeah, they're really focusing on him now. And he died 3 times. Hazup gets also eliminated. But so does Phoenix. Kill for a kill for a kill for a kill. We're looking at a 3 versus 3, everybody. 3 versus 3 on the map. Bit of mage support here, of course, for them. And let's see what they can do. Can they get a few more kills in? I mean, the Flame Strike as an interrupt tool is already fantastic. Vala has another strafe up, though, and is using it right away. The drag! Blaze is already down. They're trying the kill against Yasu. Shield is up, and Yasu he's dead. Yasu dies. They spread the bombs a little bit, but who cares at this point? 12 kills, 210, and all of a sudden, Team Cow Attack is in the lead. 4 more shots are being fired in just another second, and that will give them also a lead on the points on the core. 18 to 19. Nicely done. And we have a game on our hands. We have a Sears on our hands, baby. 32 stacks for Kelthos. Also a significant shield. But we have 22 kills. We have 13 minutes into this and we have 22 kills. They are really going ham on this one, aren't they? So another attack already coming. Tower taken down at the bottom of the map here. Yeah, full on action for them. They go for Nick. They go for the bell tower. And Nick is dead. As much as I praised him at the beginning and as crazy as his plays were, now he's getting farmed a little bit. They are focusing on him every single team fight, and with Karazim just dashing after him, it's starting to get real difficult for Nick to keep himself alive without the help of Galnigul now, who just needs to stay close. So right now, there's a lot of poke happening from Team Cow Attack and very, very dedicated attacks towards specific targets. And Garrosh has been the #1 target for them throughout these fights. He died 4 times. So did our boy Tychus. And they still have the global. So Dehaka can always threaten the top lane and then join the battle at the bottom of the map. And that's more or less what they're trying to do here. Yeah, good for them. I really like it. Cow Attack is fighting for those points in the standings. There come the level 20 abilities. And the first thing that we're seeing is the Fist of Legends. New talent, everybody. So now we got the Insight and Transcendent benefits as well for Karazim. That is kind of cool, honestly. That's a pretty sexy setup that we have for them there. And really dangerous as well. That means, first and foremost, I mean, honestly, that is quite powerful. Rutek is a little bit insane here. And Hazu is dead. And that is a big channel. 10 points to 19. They just got 2 of the altars. And if you are a Hardo fan, you should be worried a little bit right now. I honestly didn't think that we would get to this point. As well as with the Hardos in the early game, I didn't really think that would happen. But then again, how many games did I now cast already on this map? And it always feels like there's a turnaround at some point, right? And they really want to end this. I mean, they go for boss, and why wouldn't they? Tychus is still dead. There's no way to contest this. It's 5 bell towers now, 2-3. Boss is taken, so they're going to be down to 6 points on the core. And that means that sooner rather than later, the Hardos are going to be with their back to the wall. Next objective is a single objective. Technically, you can only drop it down to 1 point, unless they, of course, lock in another bell tower. But Blaze is already trying to recover the one at the top. The Hardos need level 20. And they still don't have it. So, yeah. Here's the attack. Straight up for it. And they will get this one. Do they get the kill? 7-sided. They want Nick. They really want him to salvo. And they get him. That's game. That has to be game. That has to be game. I mean, are you kidding me? 30 seconds. Bell tower is taken. They can move into the mid lane, just start the barrage. Just start the barrage in the mid lane. Just start the barrage and channel. Blaze is retaining top side, or is at least trying to, but they're gonna try to take the one in the middle. So even if Blaze is able to get it, who cares? All they gotta do is get the altar channeled. Is one shot being fired? No. Blaze got the one at the top side in time, but Hazu just got murdered by Vala, and well, this is game, everybody. We are going to game number 3. Dehaka finishing the channel right here. And that is a 1-1 in the series as Team Cow Attack pushes the Hardos in this first semi-final of the tournament. GG. Game number 3, well done. The Polish team able to bring it back. Very impressive towards the end in particular. After they lost so much ground early on and had huge problems finding into the game. I was a little bit worried. That looked like a quick 2-0 stomp. But good on them. Team Cow Attack with a big moo as they headed into the second half of Towers of Doom. And now we're going into Battlefield of Eternity. Our third map, which will decide which team drops into the third place decider match and who moves on to the grand finals. So, Hardos against Team Cow Attack. And Battlefield of Eternity is the map choice of the red team. The Hardos decided in first pick, first ban. First ban, Zagara. Yeah, the last patch was kinda nice to her, wasn't it? So, what else are we getting here? We have the Medivh ban. That seems to be just the consistent play on the side of Team Cow Attack. You just identify a hero that you don't want to go up against, and then you're just like, yeah, whatever, we're gonna ban that, no matter what. Now, in Battlefield of Eternity, of course, Vala is again an option as you're going for the arrow build. In terms of damage against the Immortal, there's a lot of options that you currently have here. You can still play Jimmy. Li Ming is always good, one of the reasons why she gets banned at this point. But I'm curious for this one. Yeah, the Chromie ban doesn't surprise me either, considering that the Hardos are one of the teams that plays Chromie the most. And there's the early pick into Vala. Okay, there we go. Vala first pick. Also picking it away, of course, from the red team, who has chosen to play her multiple times. And, well, what's the play for them now? What are we getting from them? Keep in mind, they played Trash Tennis in one of the previous games. Not in this series. Personally, I would say that right now, if you're going up against a team like the Hardos, you are not going to go for a hero like this. But this is pretty much the test, right? If Artanis is really at a point now where you feel like, hey, this hero really gives me value on Battlefield of Eternity, this is the match to prove it in. Because now you're going up against an actual top team. Against one of the best, the team that won the last qualifier. If you can make it work here, that's a different story. Blaze starts things up and Malfurion. Are they going for that triple front line again? Yes or no? On the blue team side, we got Urel and we have Uther. Urel already able to prepare a lot of space. And we're going to get Uther played by Galna Gulnas on the support side. Doesn't seem like we're going to have any main tank shenanigans, even after the nerfs to Uther that has still been a thing. Bans though, what are you going to get rid of here? It would be kind of funny also if Hazo at some point would just go back to Sergeant Hammer. They played that on this map a lot. Did they ban out Garrosh, for example? Did they just try to get... Okay, they didn't want to make sure that there's no double support with Uther Stukov. Alright. I don't think that would have happened from the Hardos, but again, I can totally understand why. Is Nick gonna play his Garrosh again, on the other hand? That's another question. Because he definitely could. Last game it wasn't successful, granted. But generally he has a pretty big impact with it. Of course it could be taken by Team Cow Attack, that's also an option. What do the Hardos ban out? They are the ones banning Garrosh. They were probably also thinking a little bit about it, why exactly the hero wasn't banned out by Cow Attack, and said, okay, we don't want to go up against him either. And we still need some damage against the Immortal. You have options around Hanzo, of course, if you want to. Hanzo, Jimmy, Exterminator is still good here. I've seen Tigers before. Sylvanas. And an Ubarak. Alright, already a bit aggressive. An Ubarak for the Cocoon. An Ubarak coming in also with the follow-ups from Blaze with an additional stun. And also with Malfurion's Root. So not too bad. Sasabos is going to chip in the additional damage. And, well, let's have a bit of a look on how exactly that an Ubarak is going to be welcomed by the other side. But an Ubarak also has to be a little bit careful, because Urel can push him around quite a bit. We got a Thrall, and we got Ana, so we actually get the double support here. They play Uther as a main tank together with two additional side laners, or like melees. So Urel, Uther, and Thrall. Huh. Okay. And they play Artanis. They play him again. Artanis is here. They believe in him. They believe that Trash Tanis is finally not trash anymore. Battlefield of Eternity, everybody. Artanis for the second time today. Okay. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Game number 3 between Team Coward Attack and the Hardos. The Hardos against Team Coward Attack. The final map in the best of 3, the semi-final. And here we go. Hazu and Thrall. We got Yasuo for the blue team playing Vala with Galnagulnar on Uther, Copenhagen on Urel, and Nick on Ana. Nick is... I mean, seriously. Name a hero that you cannot give to Nick. It's kind of insane. Then again, he hasn't really done anything crazy with Ana yet, but I'm sure it's gonna happen. On the right side of the map, Team Coward Attack with Mimikyu and an Ubarak. We got Arion on Sylvanas, Rutek on Malfurion, Richu on Blaze, and Sasabos again with Artanis. So quite a bit of damage against the Immortal in general, but what can they really pull off here? We're gonna find out right now as we got on level 1 the Trolling Thunder from Thrall up at the top. They're trying to get the hit in, and that is a quick kill against Uther. Oh my god, he got dropped down hard. Yeah, Uther gets dropped off the map, literally. I mean, first they killed him, and then they dropped his dead corpse off the map. So that's kind of nasty. I mean, they really, really destroyed him. So here we go. The first kill is in, and they go for the 2-3 setup that they already played the last time. Bit of a different split than usual. The attack at the top is also coming, but the turnaround is immediate, and they are getting some serious damage in against Thrall. There's also some nice stuns, but the double support is there. Artanis is still at the bottom of the map as the blue team is 5-manning top lane. Yeah, the early kills are always kind of nice in the sense that you get a bit of momentum for yourself, but obviously the death timers are so low that they usually don't have a whole lot of consequences, unless you can immediately follow up with a little bit more. But in we go. We got our 11 stacks for Vala after the first few skirmishes. 14 for Uther. And a lot of pew 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 is happening here by Nick, as he enjoys the low ping environment on the European server. Bottom of the map, Artanis is going up against Sylvanas here. Sorry, not against Sylvanas, against Urel. And up at the top, Sylvanas starting to dish the damage out. Where's the root when you need it? Oh, they miss all of it against Galnagulnar. Yeah, with a little bit of lockdown against Uther, maybe they would have been able to get the kill. With Ana around, a little bit unlikely, but you never know. Double supports are always kind of annoying. They always have been. The main reason is you have tons and tons of sustain. Now, obviously, that allows you also to go and play with more aggressive setups, but at the same time, it's always a weird scenario to be in. Now, one of the good things is that normally the aggression that comes from the double support is, at least initially, not really the biggest problem. And here you can already see one issue. If you have a Sylvanas against you and you rotate while your opponent is trying to push, you can just easily try and go in with some mad damage. And that's what we're seeing from them. Taking the wall down, but the blue team is responding in kind. So they're not trying to defend. No. They're instead trying to counterplay topside, and they're doing it with the support of a Khaldor camp. And the red team realizes that if they continue to play that game, they are going to lose out on their top 4 too. So they're not really willing to do that. Urel is incredibly annoying if she goes up against you, because she can just simply create some space, push you back, bully you around, and that makes you lose time. So the Hardos abandon the idea of dropping the top 4 as Coward Attack rotates into defend. But therefore the bottom fort has also not fallen. And they lost their fountain, so that is a slight advantage now for the Hardos, of course. Camp is also taken just a tiny bit later by the red team, which allows the blue team to maybe even get a slight head start on the objective as they're moving in against the Immortal. Yeah, good for them. We got the shield battery, again, talent that was changed a little bit to give more cooldown reduction and more reliable cooldown reduction to Artanis, so that helps him. Wasn't the last time also the only talent that really was used that got changed by Cesarboss on his build. But yeah, I'm a little bit hyped for this. It was kind of fun. The two of them have a really cool playstyle, and Team Kautek in particular is not afraid to go for aggressive plays against a team that is, of course, one of the strongest currently in Europe. They attempted a swap, but he's always predicting where exactly his targets are going, and so far he hasn't really been hitting a lot of those. But again, one good murder swap at the right moment can change things quickly, and they're trying to go for another kill against Uther, and this time they get it again. Uther down. That leaves Ana as a support. The Ghost, of course, still being a little bit annoying, and they're also rather low in HP. The problem is that the Immortal itself has also taken a bit of a beating. And they're trying to close that gap quickly with Cesarboss' Artanis and Arian Sylvanas. The rest of the team is defending here, but it's still going to be a very tight race, and it doesn't really seem that Team Kautek is going to win this one. And, well, nope, they're not. Now, they were able to reduce the shield, but it's still 1800 HP on the shield that can now be used during the push at the bot lane by the blue team to maybe take the fort, probably not, but take the wall down, damage this thing a little bit. We got the level 7 talents in. The Ancestral Wrath is now ready after the Frostwolf pack as the level 4 talent. And Ancestral Wrath is of course nice for the self-sustain and also for a bit of an extra nuke that you have. Big swap already coming in, and Uther! Khaldor getting attacked again. I mean, he probably peed his pants a little bit in that last one. Because that swap swapped him right into tower range and into the damage radius of all the heroes that were defending down here. Yeah, Veni Vidi PP. He came, he saw, and he peed himself a little bit. Now they're going for Ana, and Granny is... sorry, for Vala, and she has the same problem too. But we got the stacks completed for Thrall, who takes advantage of the situation as everybody of the red team clusters up. And he's able to get the wolf connected. Now, they defend well, but they still lose the wall. And now Urel is alone at the top lane and could maybe go for the fort, but they're trying to get the kill against Khaldor, who dodges out on the route. Nice. Now they're taking that camp. The problem that I see is that Urel is taking the top fort. And down here, do they lose anything? No. Yeah, Urel is going to take this one. Yeah, is she now? Yeah, sooner rather than later. Eventually she's going to get it. Blaze is not going to be there in time to defend it. I think they already accepted that this thing is going to fall. So, we're looking at 2 kills to 0, but you look at the map and there's one team that is starting to lose ground, and that is clearly Team Kautek. So, they're doing well on the kills, but they're falling a bit behind in experience and they're falling behind in pressure on the map, so that's a problem. But, yeah. Yasuo's already working his way through the bottom waves. Immortal spawning in another 20 seconds. There's a small window on level 10 that they could maybe use to gain a small advantage, but it's not really all that big, so shouldn't really be of any significance unless it gets exploited immediately. Nick with a nice sleep dart here, shutting down any potential counter engage by Mimikyu. Yeah, 8 seconds left, and you know what? That Immortal timing is not too bad. That level 10 will be there, so I guess they're gonna get a free halftime show out of it. If you are the red team, you don't want to stay over here too long. You have to soak the lanes. You have to get the experience. And therefore, the halftime show goes clearly to the Hardos. Yeah. Solid one for them. And there's the level 10 abilities now. Funny as it is, faster for Team Kautek because the Hardos were more occupied with the camp, but here's level 10 now for both. And look what we get! We first of all got the Sacred Ground. Comboing it off together with the Earthquake could be kind of cool too. Yeah, now the attempt by Team Kautek to somehow win the second Immortal even though they already lost the halftime show. And they're losing here as well. And these connects are just not coming. There's the Cocoon. They're trying to go for Vala. Vala! Yeah, she's alive. Vala's alive. Uther is back. Drops the heal right away. The swap is not coming through either. Richu has to bunker up as Copenhagen is jumping in. Yeah, but the engagement into the backline is only connecting with Uther, and he immediately turns it on Anubarak and hits the stun. Ritual himself is also in trouble as he's trying to move out here, and there's the kill as Vala just shows no mercy. Vala, by the way, still with the multi-shot build, so again, I haven't pointed that out specifically yet, but we've seen the same thing also in the Korean tournament, that even on Battlefield of Eternity, you go for multi-shot. We've seen both. We've seen absolutely both here. But this is now a very strong setup, because the multi-shot stacks are already at 51, even though we're only 8 minutes into the game. They have a strong Immortal. The top fort is gone. The one at the bottom is definitely not going to survive this push either. And if they get a bit more momentum, there's a solid chance that they can destroy the wall at the keep. If they get kills, they might even get the entire thing. So, yeah. Here comes the pressure. They're coming in with a place. 34,000 for Vala. Nick sitting at the side. Yeah, needs to be very careful that he's not getting attacked. Alright, he knows what's up. Fort is already down. They're looking for the fight. They're looking for Blaze. They're looking for the kill, and they're finding it. Blaze is down, and that's a problem. 9 minutes into the game. The gate down here is gonna fall. The only question is, can they get more? Copenhagen pops his ult and takes position. And they're starting to push them away from the keep. They want the kill against the Anubarak. They don't get it, but they might get the keep here. They're already starting to drop it quickly, and the Immortal is still above 50% shields. That is just such a good start for the Hardos. They want the grand final, and it seems within reach. Did he just dodge the cocoon with a Divine Shield? I think he definitely just did. Now we're gonna take another look at that. I hope I caught that. But yeah, check Uther out. Uther moving away here, and then using the Divine Shield just as Anubarak uses the cocoon. Yep, there it is. Nicely done. Divine Shield to drop or to negate the cocoon. Managing to negate the counter engage, to shut it down early. But and also trying to juke them over here, but they really, really want Uther, don't they? Holy hell. Yeah, and he's dead. He's dead, and he's trying to keep at least Vala in play. And they can! Ult on Urel. Dive into the backline! Uther is finally gone, so is Vala, but they also lose good old Artanis. Nice. Nick is... Of course he's alive, why am I even asking? Yeah, Nick is alive, but they're still trying to turn it here. That fight is not over yet. And they're body blocking him hard. Hazu can't get out, and all of a sudden the kill lead is there once again for Team Cow Attack as they're dropping Vala and Thrall. And they're even trying to dive on Ana. And I don't think they got a chance of really dropping her since Uther is back to business. Instead, they're going to lose Anubarak, but it was worth the try, I suppose. So there it is. 13 to 13. Both teams have the talents up. Yeah, but that counter kill, they were just a little bit too greedy. They were hoping for more. They were looking at more momentum, and they couldn't really get it. 69 stacks by now for Vala. So quite a lot. Yeah, and now they're going for the camp here. And it gets stolen. Hardos are capitalizing on the fact that they have a 5 versus 4 situation going. Yeah, the attempt at a god swap did not work out either. Swapping them behind the gate would have been the dream now, of course. And Vala just more and more damage. He's 20,000 damage ahead of Sylvanas, who's the top damage for Team Cow Attack. That's where we're at right now. So, yeah. And they're going for the halftime show again. Top and bot lane are both being pushed by camps for the blue team. Both of them. This is eventually going to become a problem. But there's not really a whole lot that Team Cow Attack can do. They gotta fight for this one. And now the next one is getting attacked as well. It's kinda nasty. And this one is actually doing a fair amount of work. And top side, this is also helping them. Obviously, the defense is now slowly coming up. They need to take that down, and they will. But still, a bit of an annoying situation that results in another halftime show victory for the blue team. They take the 50%, and that is still 100% shield on the Immortal, at least for now. It's all about the team fight at this point. All about the team fight, a little bit about the bot lane too. Those swaps are just not connecting. Cesar Boss has a problem with that. 76 stacks for Vala, 78. Urel is jumping in again. Here comes the commitment, at least from Atanis and his ult. And here comes the Strafe. Strafe zones the back, zones them out. Bot lane is pushing further and further towards the core. And that's a camp and also a catapult. They have to take care of it eventually, and then will immediately trigger an attack by the Hardos. The second a hero appears at the bot lane, this is going to happen. And also another negate on the Cocoon. This is the second one that he pulled off. He just cleansed it out. We're gonna look at it once again in just a second, but first we have the big team fight with the bunker already dropped on the ground. Copenhagen gets attacked. Copen, it's Blaze that falls first. The core is getting attacked and Anubarak is dead as well. As they are starting to retreat, they're trying to escape and defend, and the Immortal is getting attacked. Check out Anubarak in that little fight. Check Anubarak out with his Cocoon attempt. Once again, he's trying to go for the Cocoon, and bam, it gets cleansed out. Second one that he dropped here. Urel safe. Now the Immortal is taken, and that is nearly 100% on the shield. This is a big one. This is a huge push through the top lane that they now have to deal with, especially since the blue team also has a talent advantage. Level 16 is ready for the Hardos. They have a massive Immortal. They got level 16. We get the punishment here. Benediction. Alpha Wolf, which capitalizes on the level 4 quest that has been completed by Harzorp's Thrall. And that is just a nightmare scenario for the red team. They did well in game number 2. They decided the game in their favor, but now we are looking at a massive, massive opportunity for the Hardos to end the game. Yeah, that's a big opportunity right here. Off we go. They're at least going to take the keep down. I mean, that's a no-brainer. The question is simply, can they end the game? Yes or no? Cow Attack is trying their best to defend, but there's the stun. Cesarboss makes it out. But Vala is stacking more and more and more. She's already at 83,000 damage. They go for Trash Tannis, and he's dead. Tannis is dead. The Cocoon, this time it connected. But they are catapulting this entire fight forward towards the core. 2 levels of elite for the Hardos. And here we have the shield dropped at the core. This has to be game. And Anubarak is dead too. 8 kills to 5. And the Hardos, they are advancing to the grand final, aren't they? For the second time in a row, they make it to the grand final here in an attempt to win qualifier number 2. GG and well played by Cow Attack, but the Hardos are just a little bit too stronger and lock in a 2-1 victory.